12/2025. This is our 5 o'clock fiscal court work session. Please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Alrighty, and I believe Father John is not with us tonight, so we're going to go ahead and jump on into public comments. Is there anybody that has any public comments tonight? Alrighty, seeing none, I'm going to invite Mr. Duke Wilburn up, our road department super, and give us an update on how things are going down there. How you doing tonight?
Doing well. How are y'all?
Good.
Like to update the court on what the road department crews have been doing. Running a mow trim most every day. Got a mowing crew out. Culvert crew. And just doing our weekly thing on our limbs and our Wednesday yard waste. So,
Yard waste Wednesday.
yeah. And a little update on what's been going on at the road facility. The guy's really close to wrapping up the building. I think he'll actually be done tomorrow, the way it looks. He was hanging to the garage doors today, and he's got just a little bit of, I think he's got to run the gutters and just a few small things to get that wrapped up.
That's good.
And then
A little bit better than that old shop?
yeah, nice building. Got Colston scheduled for the week of the 25th
Okay.
to come in and finish up his part of the paving. We got fuel tanks delivered today.
Yeah, amen to that. Yeah.
And I'd like to personally thank the court for allowing us to do this, because it's going to be a huge savings to the county.
Absolutely.
It's been a long time coming, but it's going to pay off.
So what is that, just a couple day install? Or
Yeah, they should be done installing the tanks tomorrow as far as wrapping everything up. Hopefully we can get our inspection from the fire marshal tomorrow. At least the preliminary inspection, and then the final we'll have to wait till all the electric's done, which he says a couple days on it, but they moved along pretty good today, so I suspect it'd be a little quicker now. But we had a time setting that big one, we couldn't get it off the truck. I thought our loader would do it, and
Really?
according to the book, it will, but it wouldn't pick
is
it
that
up.
heavy?
Yeah, 10,500 pounds, but
Huh.
our machine wouldn't pick it up.
Wow.
We tried
Squire-
several different things.
Squire Sebastian, go ahead. Your mic too. Your mic.
Thank you.
Yep.
This is the company out of Oklahoma, is that right, that had to come?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
They're,
and that was all part of the process, right?
Right.
That they had to bring the tanks
yeah,
and set the tanks?
yeah, we set them.
We had to
Yeah,
set the tanks?
we had to unload them. That was part of our deal. Saved quite a bit of money.
And they have a local company doing the electric work, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Todd Smith's doing electric
Okay.
work on it, and the state actually saved our tail on it. But they come
up
over with their
something.
big forklift
They
and
have
unload
to
it
bring
for us.
something. Okay,
So
good, thank you.
it was, it's been a fun day, but we got them.
So you're hoping by the end of the month to have that whole project wrapped up?
It should be.
Okay, so Jenny's sitting in the audience. We'll send something out to all the magistrates, because we'll want to cut a ribbon on that whole facility. Everybody should be proud of that. So we'll make sure the paving can be done, and then we'll get that scheduled and let everybody know.
Okay, sounds great.
All right, what questions anybody have for Duke or anything at the road department?
Thank y'all.
Thank you, appreciate it. All righty, judge's report. I'm going to start off on the 31st. I want to thank Duke and everybody. They had a great send-off for Stephen Hawkinsmith and A.C. Smither down at the road department, two employees that have been with us a long time. So we want to thank them for their years of service and wish them well in retirement or whatever they next chapter might hold. On 8/1, we had I went to the award ceremony for Yes Arts, honoring Yes Arts. They got another prestigious award, so can't say enough good things about what Elle and her team are doing in the community to kind of help kids and get everybody heading in the right direction. So they're making some big changes. In the back of the room here, we're joined tonight by our new sheriff, Dwayne Depp. So we had the swearing in also, and his son Dee was with him, with our past sheriff. And so things are going well, and we appreciate everything Sheriff Depp is doing. I talked to him earlier today. So next, went out to KSU to the press conference for the big L8 can't even speak. There it is. So that was a great event. You know, it was mostly just news cameras and stuff. It was kind of a last minute deal, but it was nice, the partnership, and I think it'll bring some really good attention to Kentucky State University and everything they're doing out there on the farm. So everybody should be proud of that. I think they're second biggest research facility in the state when it comes to colleges. So that's impressive. Next, Lieutenant went and see the Lieutenant Governor speak at the Rotary Club about pre-K. She did a great job as always, and there was a lot of good questions asked. Met with a new business owner here in town. Squire Sebastian, got to meet her yesterday. Diana Albaruto, I believe. She has a new Monte Carlo venue in the old Eastwood Shopping Center. So she's kind of joining forces. She came out of Lexington. She's working on her first Latino festival, and it happened to be the day after our international festival in September. Squire Sebastian, 27th. Thank you. 27. I was trying to remember that. And then she's going to do a 28th too. So I think that's going to be a great person to help kind of us. And I appreciate Squire Sebastian working on that too. There's a whole lot of moving parts on that festival. So we're going to get some things going there. Most everybody was at the, Bobby Caudle was, is a great employee of Franklin County. He's unfortunately fighting cancer. This government really stepped up. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you, to all the departments. Everybody should be proud. The baskets alone in the silent auction brought over $5,400. And that's very, very impressive. So just want to say thank you. And Bobby, very, very much appreciative. Squire Sebastian, you have something?
I just wanted to add something to that, because it is a huge thank you to everybody. And these pictures show some really good things. The cooking crew back there, our road superintendent and our county clerk, Jeff Hancock and Dookie spent a lot of time back there, and Pat Hancock flipped out those hush puppies, which was really good. The clerk staff did a phenomenal job doing all the surveying, getting everything together. And we really have to shout out to Tanya Gordon, because she spent a lot of time out there that day, a lot of effort, and it showed through. Yeah. It showed through in the heart that everybody had for that.
Absolutely. I just want to thank Jenny Durr.
She put baskets together.
She put all the baskets together, and she wouldn't let anybody transport them out there. I said, let's get them moved. She said, I'm taking them myself. I'm setting them up. So, but it was a great success, and everybody should be very, very proud. I mean, it was great to see past elected officials there, everybody, and it was all for the greater good. So Bobby's very, very touched. So just want to say thank you again, and thank you, Squire. Next, I went to the leadership Frankfurt graduation at the Foundry. It's another fine class there of people from all over our community, and just trying to get more involved, and that's what I keep preaching. Don't stop there. If you want to be involved in the community, get on a board. We need plenty of people to help us navigate everything we're doing here. On that same day, we had the Economic Development Strategic Plan announced at Kentucky State University. Jay Gardner and Associates did a great job. It's the first time Franklin County has ever done a strategic plan. So we have a lot of things to look at for that. Next is the Boys and Girls Club. Super cool ribbon cutting there. I want to thank you all again for helping the Boys and Girls Club use our building in a way that's going to make huge changes to our future generations. It was a great presentation that night. They're very thankful. The inmates have been in there painting. The inside of that building looks amazing. Thanks to you all, we put cameras up so everybody could be safe, but they are very, very thankful of everything. It's the first Boys and Girls Club that has been started in North America in 20 years, which is unbelievable. So right here in Franklin County. So yeah, that's huge. Between that and Wanda Joyce and Thornhill and all these things, hopefully we're going to start seeing a change in generations. So just want to thank you all for that again. and Duke, they were able to send a boom truck out there and help the painter, paint the trim, and it was kind of all hands on deck, and it was really, really good to see. On the 8th, Jack Kennedy and myself, Deputy Judge, we went to the KSU School of Business. They had a meeting, luncheon mostly, but it was good. It was kind of, how to get Kentucky State Business School, more involved in the community and things like that. So that was well done. After that, I want to give kudos to our county attorney, road department, sheriff's department. They went over to Hickory Hills and they saw a need. They said there's no flowers over here. They said they don't have a basketball goal that is sufficient for these kids. So everybody kind of went over there on their own and did it, So Duke, I appreciate you and your guys. They had to do some hand digging because we didn't have enough time to call utilities. So we'll do better next time. But so anyway, so they planted flowers and it was just a good day, good morning for everybody. But Max, I especially want to thank you. I think you and Ashley kind of put that together and it was good. It was good to see all the kids. Ashley King was telling me that morning she needed some more basketballs and she threw it out on social media. And she said within an hour she had 25 balls. Like people just came out of the woodwork, one bought 10 at a time. So, I think that speaks volumes. And I think the more we can get into some of these areas in our communities where we know they could use a little help. And I think, Max, you all kind of have some plans moving forward, and we'll hopefully involve the court a little bit more notice next time to get going. So, alrighty, next, Sheriff Depp and myself went down to Woodford County, and I appreciate the court taking those 2 cars that were going to be just surplused, and we donated them to the Woodford County school system. They're in the process of starting their whole SRO in their schools, and I think they're having a tough time right now financially. So it was very nice that we could take a little bit of us, being fortunate to donate. That's one of the cars there to the left, but very, very appreciative of everybody here on the Fiscal Court, and James K. even said to especially thank each and every one of you because that was a big deal. So, and Sheriff Depp even got up there and he said, years ago that was kind of us with the Sheriff's Department. The city had to help them get some cars, so it's kind of giving back. And at the end of the day, it's all about the kids and the kids' safety. So, very, very nice there. What's next? And then last night I went to the school board meeting. So we've talked about this in Lakeview Park project, extending the back parking lot that used to be the YMCA parking lot. And so we got permission last night. They voted unanimously that we can go back there. Duke, I haven't even told you that. So we can do some digging and adding some dirt and some gravel to extend that back lot where that 3-plex softball complex is going to be. So appreciate the school board working with us on that. And then this morning I spoke at a chamber small business kind of owner roundtable. So that was about 7 people there. I think they only take about 8 total. So that was a good opportunity for people to ask questions and kind of ask about county government. And then I also met with our lobbyist and Representative Erica Hancock today. And then yesterday I met with Representative Pfister. And then I'm going back in memory here, but it was a week or 2 ago, I met with Speaker Osborne about our project. So all that is going well. So I feel like they're starting to hopefully realize they want to invest in Franklin County a little bit more than they have in the past. So that's where that is. And now I'm going to call Chief Brewer up, if that's okay. And I think he has some exciting news. And as you all can see, we have quite a few firefighters in the room. So Chief, why don't you tell everybody why you're here?
Thank you, Judge. Good evening, Court. So if you recall from last month, we had the promotion for Chris Toes from firefighter to engineer. And tonight we're here to solidify his promotion with a pinning ceremony. So I'm going to call Chris up and his family. Chris has been with the department almost 13 years. He's filled several roles, brings a lot of experience to the position, and we're excited for what he'll be able to do as an engineer for the department. So if y'all want to stand up there. I think
First and foremost, we want to say congratulations to you and your family. And Andrew's going to do some pics there. Yeah.
picture, just, yeah, the three of you, there you go. All right, 1, 2, 3. Going to do one more. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
And now I just realized that I skipped over the agenda, and you're hiding over there. I didn't even see you, and I'm looking at it like, I feel like something's wrong, and I totally went out of order. Thank you, guys. I appreciate everything you all do. Stay safe. So, yeah, that's what happens when you hide. I was like, I feel like something's going on.
Well, and you all are not used to seeing me this early
That's true.
in the meeting.
That's true.
So
So,
I'm going to go over, real briefly, some of our options for setting the 2025 real property tax rate. The assessed value for real property is $4.1 billion, an increase of $231 million from last year. Based on that number, Department of Local Government has determined that the compensating rate is 0.176%. And the compensating rate is designed to maintain the same revenue as the previous year despite the change in the property value. If the county elects to take a rate above that compensating rate, then we must have a public hearing prior to the voting so that all citizens who may be opposed to raising that rate can come and be heard. The 2024 adopted rate was 0.184, which resulted in revenue of $6.6 million. My recommendation to the court is to adopt the rate of 0.183, and this will generate about $7.089 million in revenue. So for taxpayers, this will mean that the tax will be $183 for every $100,000 in property value, and this is down $1 for every $100,000 from last year. So I wanted to discuss this with the court to see, because we will need to plan that public hearing, we'll need to put that in the paper with the rate that the court would like to move forward with.
okay, I'm gonna start with Squire Blackburn, and then go to Squire Sebastian.
Thank you so much, Madam Treasurer. I do want everybody to be reminded, you're very conservative in the way that you look at our budget and advise us and tell us where we're at. And when you're saying to lower the rate, with your conservative stance, I think that's a great thing for our community. I think it's a great thing for our folks. I believe since I've been on the court, we've kept it flat 4 times and lowered it 3. We've never raised taxes. And to be able to grow and still provide services and things like that and have a recommendation from you, who in all intents and purposes should want us to have more, I think it's a great recommendation. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Squire. Squire Sebastian.
I just wanted to make sure I understood the numbers from revenue. You said it was 4.1 billion in
Yes.
property taxes, and the 200, and I missed the extra in millions.
So that's an increase of $231 million from last year's assessed value.
Okay. And so, thank you. And I just want to give a shout out, not only to you for all the work that you're doing behind the scenes to make these appropriate calculations, knowing the existing budget that we had, but also the things that are coming down the pike that we have talked about as a body here. But also give a shout out to the PVA's office, because there is a lot of work that they have put into this. So PVA Roads, you and your staff, phenomenal job for getting out there and looking at things.
Appreciate it.
And, doing the due diligence for all of Franklin County, because you'll hear not only about it for the county, we're going to hear some similar information from the health department about keeping our community safe. So we're trying to do that in 2 ways here, talking about these taxes, but it wouldn't be possible without the work of your staff, so thank you.
All righty, any other questions for our treasurer on this? Oh, I'm sorry, Squire Wisman.
Amy, could you speak to your reasoning that you came in at the 4% and dropping the percentage point from last year's?
So in order to, the DLG gives us the compensating rate, and we can take the 4% with a special hearing. I wouldn't go above that, because then, if you go above that, if you kept it at the .184, it would again require a hearing. But if there's enough opposition within the county, it can result in a portion of that proposed tax to be on the ballot, to be removed. So that's why my recommendation is the .183.
Just for everyone's understanding. And then could you go, there's a back page as well that you had from 2018 to current. Could you review the rates that we've had since that time for us and where that would fall in for 2025?
Sure, I provided you rates since 2018, .187 for 2018, 2019, and 2020. 2021, it was .185, 22, 23, and 24, .184. And then this coming year, .183 is what my recommendation is.
And that's effectively, the 4% is sort of our maximum that we are allowed to take by Department of Local Government, right?
Yes.
So that would be the .183. So
Right.
just for the public to, we're deciding on having a hearing and what the rate is, and we haven't talked about it as a body, so always good to review those. Thank you.
Squire Tanner.
Very briefly, I do want to kind of back up what Squire Sebastian said. Without this $2 billion worth of growth, this rate would not have went down any. It would have went up. So that the PVA's done a good job. We've had new businesses come in. Nippon is here, however you pronounce it. excuse me. Well, okay, that's close. So anyway, without that, and we got goings on out here, the target development's all going to help that. But each time we have some growth, new growth, services have got to go up. And so in order to keep up with that, even though the rate went down, which is a very good thing, we still have to have a balanced budget. We have to look at the future.
Thank you, Squire. Any other questions? I'll start with.
Just one thing, if I can. Amy, you didn't mention specifically, but what, will you just state what's the, if we take that .183, what the increase over last year's receipts would be?
It's roughly 482,000.
Just will state, following up on the Squire's comments too, that I think a tremendous amount of growth in the community has not been just, development growth. It's been the transition of properties, improvement of properties, primarily residential housing, and the vast amount of sales our community has had in that segment in the last couple of years. And I think, Will, not putting words in your mouth, but most of that has come from those sales, I believe, without seeing a lot of new development, because a lot of that's online, coming online soon, but hasn't yet, right? So,
Well, Will, you want to come
be
up?
nice if Will could
Go ahead and
maybe-
introduce yourself for TV land.
Thank you, Judge. Will Rhodes, Franklin County Property Valuation Administrator. Actually, the bulk of this year's increase of the $230 million that Amy spoke about is the vast majority is from commercial.
Okay.
I got with Mary Ann with the judge's blessing very early on, and she gave me access to iWorks, and I was able to go back and cross-reference former permits and see if they were caught up. So a lot of that is from commercial, new build or fit out, stuff like that. So to your point, there has been a lot of residential growth, but this year's numbers, it's the vast majority commercial.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Yes, sir. And
Will's
if I may,
with us. Yeah, I was going to say, go ahead.
if I may, I know y'all talking about tax rates, but I want to follow up on something that Sarah Grundy said from the clerk's office, I believe it was last court meeting. She spoke about something called Doc Alert down in the clerk's office, and we now have that on our website. It's on our main page, and every parcel you click on, any citizen can sign up for that free service and be alerted anytime something with their property is done in the clerk's office as far as titles or mortgage. So kind of in that cybersecurity, people are more leery of that every day. That's a free service for all citizens, and please utilize that, because I know we are the only PVA office with deeds and plats online, and that we've gotten phone calls of people kind of being leery of that, even though it's all public record, it being online. So this Doc Alert that is really through the clerk's office, just housed by us, is free to all citizens to utilize.
So, Will, just to clarify that, because there was a little bit of a gray area last time. So if you sign up in Franklin County to be notified if somebody uses your name or whatever, does it work across the state and the other counties that are using the same program? It should, in theory, right?
It should, in theory, it should work in Miami, Florida, because they'd be pulling the deed from here as well to
Okay.
go with the new sale. So, yeah, it's not just if somebody comes down here.
Yeah,
I
okay.
would think. I mean, I want to check with,
Yeah, that just seemed like it was a little gray area, I think,
again.
so.
And not, I know y'all are talking about tax rates, but
Yeah.
I did want to say
Yeah.
that because that's a great thing. I signed up for it myself.
Good. Squire with me.
Just to ask Will, I noticed it on the PVA website. The best thing probably is to go for anybody that's interested to PVA site and pull your address up, and then there's a link directly there that they can sign up.
There is. It's on each individual parcel, and then on the side banner, it's got a QR code and another link you can click as well on all parts of the
Do you think
website.
it's good practice to take and put your name in exactly as it reads on the PVA? Because you may
There-
have an initial or something that changes the.
Well,
way
and
it reads.
if you click on there, they actually tell you in the instructions to not only your address, but if it goes Richard Tanner, Ricky Tanner, R Tanner, it doesn't hurt you to put in all different kind of names it could be filed under. So, yeah, it's got clear instructions. Like I said, I signed up for it myself. I think it's a great service that the providers of Jeff's e-click stuff does. And that speaks to, like I said, with the iWorks permitting, stuff we do with the clerks. I know we're on the phone with the sheriff's office at least 2 times a day, just kind of how everything's running in a symbiotic fashion. Everybody's working together, and I think it's going really well.
I think that is making a big difference, how everybody's working together, and I appreciate planning and zoning, sharing information with your office. It just makes everything easier for everybody.
Absolutely.
So it's nice to see that cooperation.
Absolutely.
All right. Will, thank you. Amy,
Thank you
thank
all.
you. Amy's appreciative that you were here so she could sit down, by the way. Saw the smile on her face. All righty, next we're gonna go ahead. Any questions from our minutes from our July 30th meeting? All righty, next I believe Judy Madley is from the Health Department. I see she has some friends with her. Good evening, Judy. How are you?
Thank you. Good evening. Good. I hope everybody else is doing well also. And my friends with me are Ken Pfizer, our finance consultant, and Michelle Early, our finance administrator, in case you all ask some really tough questions. They're my backup. But I'm so glad that I'm also following Amy because we're here to present our tax resolution tonight like we do annually. And I hope I'm not the last this year. I think last year I was the last one. So I'm not sure if Andrew has my presentation to pull up, but I think that Kim, thank you so much, did make copies for the fiscal court members, and there it is on the screen. So the next page, I'm just showing you the certification assessment form that I know you all are familiar with, that we base all of our figures off of. And then the following page is our workbook page from the Department for Local Government that computes our compensating tax rate for us. So you can see that it's coming down to 6.5 this year with the compensating rate. It was at 6.8, but like Amy explained, it's bringing in about the same amount of money that we'll be able to function off of. So the following page is just our formal resolution that we have to turn into the state that shows that we will be requesting the 6.8 compensating rate. But then I'd like to show you all on the 2 pages from here, the blue page, what the budget actually looks like. So this is our Board of Health budget, not the Health Department, but for the Board of Health. And you can see there under real property where the 2.7 million comes in from the compensating tax rate, then of course plus our tangible and motor vehicle. And then I would also point out here the interest our board is receiving. That's what's really keeping us being able to function at that compensating tax rate, that our board has invested so wisely in CDs and money market accounts. That's being able to help us with that increase each year. And our board is very much saving for our employer pension contribution. By 2030, the health department will be assuming 100% of that. So that'll be an additional $1 million that we will have to pay in our budget that we're currently getting a subsidy for. So that's why we're saving that money now that the renovation is over of the public health center. And then the last page that I gave you is the health department budget, so that you can see where the local money pulls over, and you can see that it is our largest revenue source. We are asking our board this year, and they have approved to give us the 2.8 million, plus we expect some donations, and that's our only flexible source of revenue. I would point out, though, that our staff does a great job bringing in service fees also. Comparatively speaking to other health departments, we do a lot there in service fees. And obviously, you can see under our expenses, the vast majority of our budget goes towards salary and fringe benefits. And so that is our budget and our tax rate. I would just throw out my thanks also to everyone, PVA, Fiscal Court, Sheriff's Office, that, helps us with that tax rate to keep us functioning, and for your help with the Yes Cards, where the county and the city has contributed to the after-school programs that we know are so important to keeping our kids safe. And other than that, I know you all always ask me about concerns, so I will just throw it out there that we are really concerned about MMR vaccines right now. With the measles across the state and the country that we're seeing, we expect to see more of that. So give us a call, 564-7647, if you need your MMR vaccine.
Perfect.
And any questions?
All right, Squire Sebastian, then we'll get to Squire Tanner.
All right, thank you, Judge. Thank you for all, coming in and being with us. I think I heard you say the compensating rate is 6.8.
It was last year.
It
I'm
was,
sorry, I was
but
showing you
we
how
are-
it came down.
I just
Yeah.
want to be sure that everyone knows that it was 6.8. It will be 6.5.
5, correct.
Just so that everybody understands the difference.
Yes, thank you.
And it is less.
And it has come down every year. I think when we started with the compensating rate, we were at 7, 6.9, 6.8, and coming down to 6.5 really shows that growth and additional revenue being brought into the county.
Squire Tanner.
I need you to refresh my memory a little bit from the days.
From
that
your
I was
days on the
there.
board, yes, where you started these investments.
The question I have refers to the retirement subsidy. The state pays over $600,000 right now of the health department's obligation to the retirement fund.
Correct.
So then in 2030, that $600,000 goes away.
Yes. It's going down by 5% each year.
It goes down 5% each year, so that's 15% more even now, but if I.
We've already
I don't know what
assumed a
year
lot
this
of
is,
it,
so-
yeah.
So never mind, I'm in the wrong year. But that $600,000, even though it will come out of your reserve for a while, then the reserve starts being depleted because of that. So then, do you think any stand at the compensating rate will manage to absorb the $600,000 or not?
Well, what our greatest hope is.
Does that make sense?
I completely understand what you're asking, and our greatest hope is that we're going to be able to keep bringing that interest in. The interest the board is earning right now off of CDs alone is enough to make up that almost $600,000 a year. But, we don't know what the interest rates are going to do either, so that's definitely our hope. But we're watching it closely and, to see what we can do. And there's still a lot of confusion with local health departments, on having to hold a public hearing and things with the compensating tax rate. We're new to that. We have another KRS that says we're exempt from 132, so it's all very confusing right now.
Well, we were exempt when I was there, but somebody decided maybe we weren't, but that's not my decision, but if you're preparing for the future, that's great, because you're gonna be $621,000 short in a few years.
A little more than that, I think 684. I think it's more around 684,000.
Oh, okay. Misprint here. Okay.
Oh, no, it might have come down this year. I think last year it was 684, and that's where we're getting even less this year, yes.
All right, Squire Westman.
Judy, thank you for being with us and presenting all this. I'm wondering if, and I don't want to get you too far into the weeds, but the federal receipts here, I'm constantly asking, and I've asked several times in the court, for the modern landscape that we're in, what federal programs are assured, what could be in jeopardy, and if you could maybe just a little elaborate, maybe there's 7 here, if you wouldn't mind to go through. I'd like our community and me to understand better what each of these federal programs are doing for our community currently.
Exactly, and a great question. I'm so glad you brought that up, because the $50,000 for the Coronavirus Response and Relief Act has already been taken away from us. We got that email at about July 3rd, that, we were told we have to budget it, but then July 3rd, we were told, don't code any time there, that money's been taken away.
And what was that to do?
And that was to support COVID vaccines. Now, we do still have, below it, the ARPA, some money to help with COVID disease investigation and testing. That has not been taken away yet, but like you were saying, I very much fear that that money could go also, since it's related to the coronavirus still. And the federal grants, the ones that say DPH, that's a multitude of different grants. It might be for family planning or for WIC as federal money, which I've not heard any jeopardy to WIC yet, like we have to SNAP. But most of that is WIC there. Over 300,000 of that would be WIC. The 187,000 that you see below that, that's direct to us, that is our Drug-Free Communities grant that very much supports the Yes Card and our prevention efforts there for opioid-reduced prevention. And so we hope that that money is safe, since it is from the CDC. We've not heard any cuts on it yet. And then to go back up to the top, the Title V Maternal and Child Health Block Grant, most of that is our HANDS program for new parents, the Health Access, Nurturing, and Development Services. I've not heard anything about that being in jeopardy, or the Title X Family Planning. And as you can see, the block grant is so very, very low at $4,000, but that goes to our environmental program to assist with those, on-site inspections and restaurant inspections. So I believe that that should be safe also. Fingers crossed.
And do you have maybe, I'm wanting to start compiling just sort of countywide what these federal programs do for us and how many people they actually impact day-to-day lives. Do you have that kind of breakdown already?
I don't have it with me, but I could easily email you our Board of Health quarterly report that I know Jack is familiar with seeing, and we give that to our board quarterly, and it reports all of our service statistics and service numbers, so I could easily go through there and highlight for you, which ones are federal and which ones are not.
Great, I'd like to compile just
I will definitely get that to you. Oops.
Help here.
Did that need to be propped up?
Thank you for that information. So I just wanted to point out, I knew you all already had one grant pulled back, just like we had over $1 million grant pulled back for flooding mitigation, stormwater mitigation, and,
Tough times.
It's going to be impacting the community, so.
Judy, if you don't mind, if you're gonna send some, just go ahead and send it to Jenny and she can distribute it.
Perfect, I appreciate that.
Yeah, that'd be great, thank you.
Great.
Any other questions? I was hoping for a stumper for the guys that came in the audience. I mean, they're waiting for a stumper, but guess you're gonna get off free tonight.
Well, don't worry, we're going back to finish working on fiscal year 25 closeout that we're still
okay.
working on.
That's a lot of fun. So,
Yes.
Thank you and your board for everything you all do for our
Thank
community.
you all, we appreciate it greatly.
Absolutely. Alrighty, next. Mr. Deputy Judge, you wanna talk about this one or you want me to? This is basically just saying that we're out of it.
Yeah, this is the interlocal with the city that says that we're out of the Frankfurt tourism business. We're doing the Sports Tourism Commission with the county, and they're taking over the Frankfurt Tourism Commission.
We didn't think this is, we thought when we did it months ago, that was it, but then they had to do it on their end as far as to say that we were, divorcing, as Eddie would say, and that we're doing the sports commission and they're doing the tourism. So this is basically what it, Max, you have anything you want to say about this? Everything look fine? Yeah.
So Judge?
Yeah, Squire.
Could someone walk me through just the expectation of, will there be any obligation of the county to transfer any funds to the city for tourism in any purpose? There is an agreement here that I just want to be more transparent about what we're agreeing to, that effectively states that we're going to continue the payments for as agreed upon for the Grand Theater, the debt service on the Grand Theater, until that's paid off in about 15 more years. I can't remember the date exactly. And then that will transfer automatically for the city to use for a convention center space.
That one's not automatic. That will come back to us.
Okay.
The grand money that the 1 or 2%, and I can't remember off the top of my head.
2% to 2032.
But that, I think the way the statute reads is that comes back to this fiscal court to determine if it wants to support a new museum or something else, arts or convention center. It has to be in the district and downtown. So, but that does come back to us. That's separate from the convention 1% that we've put towards that. But the intention is, and we're still working on the final paperwork with the Sports Commission, is that what we had negotiated with the Sports Commission is that the sports, with tourism, I'm sorry, they'll pay basically $250,000 for 2 years, and then it's the cities after that. And then ultimately, we're still gonna work. I mean, we've talked to the city about, leasing their fields out. I mean, so they'll basically just be doing the marketing and tourism aspect of it for city and county, and then we're taking over the county, the Sports Commission's taking over, running outdoor activities. I mean, anything that has to do with outdoor things.
So there was a promise by this court to make, upon taking this action, to make tourism whole. We've kicked around 3 years. The basis going forward looks, or if your explanation says that the Sports Commission is going to take on the payment for whatever amount is in the deficit, which that would be 250 is, I think, 25,000 less than their current year amount, but maybe with growth.
It's what we've talked to tourism about. We've had multiple meetings. That's the number that we came to, and I think this court was good with.
Well, just, this is the document that we needed to get some of that done, right? And we still need to get that document. That was promised to come back to us but it's not going to at this point. I guess the Sports Commission is going to be taking that up external to us, so.
Yes.
Okay. Well, and this has, it does have an agreement that 1% of the Franklin County tax shall go to a convention center in the city of Frankfort. So that's, it was a bit confusing the way it read to me, that we'll pay off the 2% for the Grand Theater, but beginning July 1st, 2025, 1% of the transient room recipients in Franklin County should be levied for operating expenses of the convention center. So we are beginning, so we are expected to have a transfer payment. That's what I was getting to. Okay, well, I'm still not a big fan of a great deal of this, but that at least explains some things to the community, that there's some guarantees that tourism will be operating still and be made whole to some degree. The Grand Theater will be paid for, and our other obligations are going to be met. So that's really what I was trying to express.
And at the end of the day, I mean, we didn't legally have to even commit to $250,000, and we worked with the city for over a year.
We haven't. This court hasn't, right?
Well, we've worked with the city for over a year. We wanted to do a joint Sports Commission tourism thing, but they would never come back to us. And so, after a year, we just said it's time to go. So we had to go. So this is what we have, but we're still planning on working together, and there's no hard feelings, and we're just going to try to make things happen. All right, any other questions on that one? Alrighty, next, I believe Belinda's going to come up. Unfortunately, and I meant to say this earlier, Squire Dykes is not feeling well. That's why she's not with us tonight. And just so happens Allie is not feeling well today, so Belinda has agreed to step in on this one, and we'll go from there. How are you doing tonight?
I'm well, thank you. You doing
Good.
okay?
Yep.
This is a resolution authorizing application for 2026 litter abatement funds from the Kentucky Department of Environmental Protection, Division of Waste Management. The county applies for these funds each year and typically receives around $37,000, which is used primarily for litter pickup under the Trash for Cash program, which pays nonprofits and student groups a small sum in exchange for cleaning up roadside litter. The funds can also be used for education programs and to promote anti-littering messaging. The grant has no match, and all funds received will be added into the fiscal court budget for the program. The amount of grant funding each county is eligible to receive will not be determined until after November 3rd, when all the applications are received and the amount per county will be calculated. And we are asking for fiscal court's approval to apply for the grant.
Alrighty, what questions do we have, Belinda, on this? I like when you say no match.
No
Needed.
match.
That's always,
Magic words.
I feel like there's a consensus in this room that everybody just, Squire Blackburn, go ahead.
This isn't a question for you, it's just a plug for the program. Being in the school system, I see all the student organizations that have to raise money for the causes that they're doing, for extended educational experiences for themselves and for sports teams and things like that. I've been a part of it. I know other people here on the court have been a part of it. I've walked down the road with the trash bag and had the vest on and the grabbers and all that stuff.
Yep.
It's a wonderful program. It teaches public service, and you got to work to get it. And I'm just a big fan of it.
Good. Thank you for that comment, Squire Blackman. Squire?
I just want to reinforce, you got these teams that they wash cars, they do whatever, they can do this. It's great for the community, it's great for them. I like it all the way around. Just want to put that.
Yeah, thank you, Squire. All righty. Well done, Belinda. No hard questions tonight.
I love it.
You can breathe. Now let's get to the one that you're going to present.
Okay. This is authorization to accept $343,295 in County City Bridge Improvement Program grant funds from the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural and Municipal Aid for replacement of the superstructure of the Farmers Lane Bridge. As a refresher, this past April, we applied for this grant to replace the superstructure of the Farmers Lane Bridge because it has a posted weight limit of 17 tons, is substandard, and is the only access point to the Farmdale subdivision containing approximately 145 homes. This grant is a little different in that it does not have a traditional 20% match. Instead, it requires Fiscal Court to pay the design and engineering in full, and then the grant pays for the cost of construction. I received an updated cost estimate from H&B for the design phase after the original abstract had already been distributed in your packets. It came in over the weekend. So please note in your packet under financial impact that the updated cost from H&B is now $84,300. It was previously $79,200. So it's now $84,300. And this amount is still slightly under 20% of the total cost. So we're still coming out a little better than we would with the traditional 80-20 split grant. The work order from H&B will come to Fiscal Court for approval at the August 27th meeting. And so we're just asking for Fiscal Court's approval to accept this award so we can fix this bridge.
Belinda, first and foremost, I want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
This is huge. I mean, that's a good chunk of change there. So
H&B helped us tremendously getting this together.
Absolutely. Squire Blackburn.
I got a question for Chief. How much does your heaviest truck weigh?
Our tankers weigh about 48,000. They have their tandem axle, so that spreads that weight, so it affects the rating some.
It's 48,000, it's 24 tons, and this bridge holds 17.
Yeah.
I think it's highly important that this
Get long
happens.
hose, double
We've ran
hose.
into that issue before
Yeah.
on that, so what we do.
Speed up, what do you do?
That rating is per lane, from my understanding. So we
Okay.
kind of make sure the bridge is clear, the short bridges, split the lanes so the weight's distributed properly, so we're not over exceeding that weight limit, so.
So you can stay in your lane after
Sure.
this.
That's only on the single axle trucks. Our single axle trucks are right around 36,000.
Awesome, thank you.
Squires. I love that. Just drive fast.
Drive fast.
Squire
I mean, what do you
Sebastian,
do?
Go ahead.
Well, having it's in my district,
I know.
and it's an issue.
Yeah.
It's an issue for concrete trucks, it's an issue for trash trucks.
Yeah.
Depending on, where they are in the process throughout the day. Fire and safety protection, I mean, it is an issue just across the board. So it is phenomenal for the homes that are, there's about 150 homes out there. And the families that are gonna be impacted in a positive way with this. So I can't thank you enough for everything.
Yeah,
that
you
you've
gotta
done.
get to 'em.
Yeah.
It's huge. You gotta be able to get to them.
It's not just offering them something better, it's offering them what we all should have.
Absolutely.
Period. Like minimum, not like this is above and beyond, this is what
Huge.
Yeah.
you can safely put a fire truck out there. You
But
can put more gravel on your driveway, you can you can do stuff, I mean, this is,
to finally get to this though, after multiple years of talking
Yeah,
about these
absolutely.
issues, when we've tried to find bridge schematics, I mean, there are lots of things that members of the court have tried to do over the last 6 years and we can't find certain things. So to be able to advance this, man, I'm beyond
Well, and I
excited
do
about
want
it.
to say, and I want to thank Duke, so part of this new program is that Duke and I had to take a class in order for us to be eligible for this money. So I think they made it a little bit more difficult, which probably gave us better odds.
Good.
I
Good for
took the
us.
101, 101, I think Duke ended up taking a 102 that I
Yeah,
didn't
he
know
did.
about. So anyways, But I learned a lot, I mean, about bridge construction and how they fail and different things, but I do think it was interesting that they put a little bit different regulations on this program, but we were fine with it.
Yeah.
So, so thank you, Duke, also for taking it. Squire Witzman.
I echo a lot of the comments here. I have some family in that neighborhood, so I'm happy that this is going to move forward. When this was originally brought forward to us, I'd asked if they, from a training I'd set through, they had a scope that they wanted to see sort of the number of bridges countywide. Did they expect or ask for anything related to that? as part of-
Not in the application, no. They didn't ask for that in the
Well, I hope we can start assessing the next ones in line, Duke. We've got several bridges that are weight rated like that all
Yeah.
across the county that are safety hazards, so I'm for us putting some direct money. I know that this new state program allows effectively one bridge a year, but we're gonna be in competition with the whole state from now on indefinitely through this bridge program, and I think we need to start assessing how we can do some of this on our own too, so.
Good. Thank you, Squire. Squire Tanner.
I'll be real brief. I thought at one time, or maybe I'm thinking about a different program, but we paid 3% of our rural aid, county road aid into a bridge abatement fund. Do we not do that anymore, or is that gone, or have I got the wrong?
That's the.
So that money is sitting in there,
emergency fund.
so then a 17-ton bridge going to a 40-ton or whatever it is, 80, it's not an emergency, and we're not eligible for that unless the bridge falls in?
Well, to be honest with you, I can't answer that question. I don't know, Richard. I
We
just
pay
know that
3%. This
that
money we're
gets
getting is probably ours, because we pay 3% in for years and years and years,
Yeah, but
and
that's,
then they want us to match it with 84,000.
I thought that was just on failures.
that's a total difference.
So
I
the
could be
bridge has
totally-
got to fall in, so we get 3% back, or our money back?
As an emergency fix.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think there
Yeah, I don't
has
think
to
it's
be
just
a
like the, I don't think it's just
catastrophic
like the
failure,
failure money. I think
deck
it's-
failure,
There has to
No,
be
it's a
a
pool of
catastrophic
money, because
failure.
everybody's probably doing it.
Duke, while we have you up here, if I
Go
could,
ahead,
Judge,
Scott.
do you know how many bridges we have countywide right now that are weight limited under what they should be? I think I have 2 or 3 in my district alone.
I think we have 5 that's restricted, 5 or 6.
Thanks.
All righty. Any other questions? Thank you, Duke. Any other questions for Belinda while she's here? Belinda, thank you very much, and again, congratulations. That's a great thing.
Thank you.
All righty, next, I believe Chief is up.
Thank you, Judge. So this item is resolution authorizing the filing of application with Kentucky American Water Firefighting Support Grant. It's one we've been awarded several years in a row. It's not $343,000, so it's kind of hard to follow, but it's a little bit of money to throw towards some equipment to keep the department moving forward, so.
They've been partners for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
Long time.
probably since 2018, I think, 18, 19. So we've been awarded this grant for several years. They've been great to work with. Invite us to trainings at the facility at the Owen County line, so.
Chief, while you're up there, I know it doesn't show this, but let's go ahead and jump to your next one. So
Okay.
you all put an RFP out, I believe,
For boat bids,
put it back out, right?
we did. We re-advertised. We ended up receiving 3 bids this time. And we're recommending the lowest bidder, which come in, the total you see there includes taxes, so by the time you deduct the taxes, it is $43,425, I believe. And that is a budgeted expense.
You had enough in that budget, that line item, or you moved
Um,
around a little bit?
That come in slightly above what we
Yeah.
had budgeted.
Yeah.
But the extrication tools we awarded earlier, they come in a little under budget. I think the UTV skid unit was a little under budget, so I think we'll be able to absorb it in that line and be fine.
Okay.
That was the first question Amy asked.
That's what I was sitting there thinking. I was like, I remember 40.
Yep.
But Squire Sebastian, go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. So it is something that we discussed during the budget and budgeted for.
Yep.
We know that we rejected the first bid, the RFP that the court approved to go out for. So that's an important part. And we also know we have a great need because we just had to call on these boats. I mean, not 6 weeks ago,
Yeah.
multiple times. So this is a vital, and that's what we do, protections of persons and property. So absolutely, this is glad to see that advancing this.
Absolutely. This
Thank you
boat
very
will be
much.
designed for, more for the river operations, which we've needed for many, many years, so.
Don't want to fly for another one next year.
Squire Wisman.
Thanks, Judge. Mr. Brewer, well, thank you. I'm excited to see this. I've told you many times, I want to have more focus on water-based rescue and training in that, and I think we can excel as a community to be a training ground, a proving ground, and the need is just there. We all experienced that this year, and the flooding and all we've had. But related to the bid, could you explain for me, the bids are very different, and the listings of the features of each one are drastically different, but there's a price difference of over $100,000 between some of these. So I'm assuming just that they all bid the RFP, that they're comparable, but do we have some drastic reason then the
So-
variation's so wide?
Yes, from my understanding, like the lowest bidder is a standard boat that a company typically builds that we looked at and kind of built our spec off of because it met all of our needs. But I know at least one of these bidders is a custom boat builder. So they look at everything and they custom build every single part of that boat. So it's not as mass produced. So when you come to that specialty type custom builds that they do, that usually incurs a much higher cost.
It's related, I guess my bigger concern is that one may have a much more powerful or a turbo engine or dual engine or something that would allow us to have a faster response, and then the lesser bid, but it doesn't really say that in the bid, maybe something that's still acceptable, but is there some variation that we should consider a higher cost?
I'm not 100% sure as far as like anything special about the higher bid. They all bid a 150 horsepower motor. The cheapest one on the bids was the one that it met the needs that we have. So,
Another thing you gotta look at is your weight ratios on the motors to the boat hulls. So they won't put a much bigger motor on that size of boat.
Yeah.
If you understand what
It just, the second bid doesn't have any specs at all on it, so I just wanted you to verbalize that they were.
that was, yes,
they
that
were
was
similar,
compared.
so-
I just included the front page of each one to show the prices, but we compared the specs
Okay.
and
Just wanted
they
you to
were
say
all
that you did.
comparable. It's just some of them where they're custom built, entail a lot more labor, I guess.
Thanks.
Chief, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here tonight. All righty, so let's backtrack for a minute. The Farmdale Sanitation District easement, so you all are very aware of the Farmdale project that has been worked on for, close to 20 years. Close to 20 years. Well, the good news is that we are very close. I believe they're within 9 easements of us breaking ground on that project, which is just amazing. Charlie Burdette called me and he said, we need a little bit of easements from the county. We are probably one of the 9, so that is what is in front of us. So I'm gonna ask Max. Max, I mean, is there anything other than, I mean, these are just random pieces, that we own, that's not gonna hurt anything. Anything you wanna say to the court on that one? So, I mean, yeah, it's nothing, not a whole lot to talk about here. It's just a legal document saying, we have to sign this, gives me authority to sign it, and I'm hopeful, they're already working on the RFP to go out. So we are getting very, very close. I'm appreciative of Squire Sebastian. Last year, when we contacted the KIA and DLG and Division of Water, we had a group meeting. We took our engineers with us, and after we presented, they looked at us and they said, we had no idea it was that bad. For the last 20 years, all we've gotten is paperwork, but we haven't had anybody come in here to tell us how bad it was. So that's when really they got to work. They figured out where they could come up with some more KIA money. Division of Water had the idea of splitting it into 2 phases. So first phase is $14.75 million. It will take 6 package plants offline. And I was up, and that's one of the things we're hitting on the legislators about, is getting enough money, the other 6.25, to finish it 100%. I think a lot of the reasons the feds and the state stopped donating to this project is because they said it will never happen. So we are hopeful that we can get that off the ground sooner than later. And we're excited. There's over 1,200 homes out there that we're getting ready to help. So I just want to thank everybody. Squire Sebastian.
And I just want to say that the Farmdale Sanitation District, like the water districts, they are a standalone governmental entity. They do not report to Fiscal Court, and they are not a sub-function of Fiscal Court. However, Fiscal Court has stepped in over this court and really worked hand in hand to hear the needs of that board and to work on behalf of the residents and put the weight of the court to assisting in trying to find funds. So that is a huge step in the right direction and a partnership that is being shown by the county stepping in to try to help this board.
Yeah.
Because them trying to do all of these things on their own hasn't led them to the end where they want to be.
Yeah.
And so the court trying to step in and help them in multiple ways has gotten us so close.
We're close.
Has gotten Franklin
we are
County so
right there.
close. So
How many residents are,
1,200.
about, yeah.
I mean, that's just a,
But then also, Stewart Home, it came to them, and they're very interested in hooking on at their own expense because they have a package plant that they would like to take offline. So
Yes.
it's gonna help a lot of people. So, yeah, we're excited about it. So once we get a little bit closer to those easements and actually breaking some ground, we'll all be there. Squire Wiseman.
Judge, just a technical question about this packet. I realized there was a incorrect abstract that was given to us, but could someone just verify that?
It's Evergreen Road instead of Stedman Town Line. I called and spoke to the staff.
Well, the
They made a
background
very
is
quick, it was,
different.
Yeah.
it was just a technical word that unfortunately got placed in the packet.
Well,
And so that was corrected quickly.
the background was different too. It's natural gas that was transferred over. But I just wanted to verify that the utility easement deed language is the correct one. That I'm assuming so, but it doesn't say the address in it specifically, so.
The parcel should be
make sure that-
correct, the parcel number, et cetera.
That shall be
You
correct.
should have the updated abstract on your desk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything else is correct.
Yep.
okay, thanks.
Perfect, thank you. All righty, next, I believe Greg Fry is with us. Greg, how you doing, buddy?
pretty good. Looking good in the haircut.
Hey, I just
He's all
want to,
slick back, I mean, yeah.
hey, I just want to thank everybody for coming out last week if they were able to make it for Bobby's thing. That was really nice, you know. That's a good thing that we were able to do. I really appreciate it. It was a great turnout, so that's the first thing I just wanted to say. What y'all have in front of y'all are some bids that we sent out for the sheriff's roof. One of the bids had to be kicked out due to the fact that they did not show up to the mandatory meeting. I think what we're going to recommend is the lowest bid in this packet. That is up to y'all on voting. So, if y'all have.
Squire Sebastian, then Squire Blackburn.
Well, we're probably gonna have the same kind of, I'll let you,
No, you got your hand, you got your mic on.
well,
Paper, scissors, rocks.
you know me, I'm happy to let anybody else ask questions before me,
Go ahead.
because I'm gonna have 30. My question is, in looking at this, it appeared the shingles were about the same, or the same
All
grade.
three companies
It
are the
looks to
same
me like-
completely. Everything's apples to apples.
Everything I saw, I didn't see one thing that
Yeah.
was a step above. I mean,
Yes.
they talked about, you know, the guttering
Yes,
and,
the ice, everything.
so
It was apples to, and that was the part of the mandatory meeting. And the one gentleman that submitted a bid that didn't show up, I think it was still apples to apples, but he should have been there at that meeting, because I wanted to make sure, because I've seen in the past when someone will bid on something, but bid something else, and then this company will bid something else. I wanted to make sure everyone bids the proper stuff.
absolutely.
So, that's
So
what.
that was my question, just, but from my reading, everything appeared apples to apples.
Yeah,
To
yes,
use your terminology,
yes.
but I just wanted to be sure that it was the same from the meeting.
Yes,
All right,
yes.
thank you.
So we did check today, both companies are in good standing in Franklin County, both companies are in good standing with the, Attorney General, all those things. So, you know, we really looked at this. Yes, we wanted to make sure there's no issues with either company. And like Greg said, when we kind of had a conversation earlier, I said, you know, you knocked the one out because they didn't follow the rules. That's bottom line. And then for me, if it's apples to apples, it comes down to the lowest price. I mean, so that would be Ideal Roofing. I mean, I think that's how we should do it. So, does anybody have anything else to Squire Blackburn?
I just wondered, did any of the companies say how many square shingles they were doing?
No, they did not, no, but I know they all got up there and measured the whole roof and everything, so,
This Eagle View thing, I know it's a separate service from
Yeah.
Southern County. That was pretty impressive, and it said the exact number, but the company that was putting the bid out did not.
yes.
And then this one, that says the exact number is a little bit different.
Well, I know, 2 years ago when we were having this issue, because this is actually an insurance claim, it was in the $50,000 range, and that's where these bids are. So I know that's what I think the insurance company originally bidded out, what the project would cost. And we have to pay a percentage of the deductible now too. So we've budgeted for it, but we budgeted for it too.
So is that like for depreciation or whatever?
It's 10% of the building value or something. I'm not 100% sure, but it's like, and I think that includes the contents and stuff. Somehow, something of that nature. And
There's
that's
a new
what I was-
formula that Keiko came up with. I think it just kicked in maybe last year.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was
It
just
was
last
last
year
year.
because this roof issue happened
Yep.
and we
And- yeah,
decided,
because-
let's hold it until the budget season and here we are.
Yeah.
Squire Sebastian.
I did want to ask, I know when the bidders signed in, Ideal signed in as Richmond, but they have an office here.
Yes, they have a Frankfurt office
They have a
as well.
Frankfurt office, so we're
Yes.
all good with that, right?
Yeah,
We're all good with Frankfurt?
Yep.
Okay, just being sure.
No, yeah, that's good.
I meant to ask that earlier, that was
Yeah,
the other part.
yeah, no.
Yes,
So we're,
Well, that's
absolutely.
very important.
so we're at about $450 a square to remove and replace.
Sure.
I mean,
You're the
that's-
calculator over there.
blowing my mind.
Yeah.
It's, that I don't know. I'm not a roofer.
But I have to admit, I
it
mean,
is
from a
top of
guy
the
who used to
line.
bid
It
a
has-
lot, that's competitive bidding. I mean, that's what you want to see. It
It's-
doesn't get any better than that.
It's a 50-year manufacturer warranty.
For re-roofs in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Is that 50 year for the shingle?
For the shingle, that's a manufacturer warranty. There's a 10-year workman, and then I know y'all offer another one.
Can I make a point?
Yes.
That 50-year is incorrect, that's only for residential. This is a commercial, it's 40.
It's 40. Okay.
That's through GAF.
I was gonna say, yeah. Good luck getting anything after 10. Okay, any other questions? Squire Wisman.
Judge, just for devil's advocate, was there ever a discussion of putting a metal roof that would have a longer warranty and more stability in our
With it,
changing climate, you know?
I'd say with it being an insurance claim, it has to go back the way it was. I will say, when we had a bunch of ice and snow, the gutters almost ripped off the garage this winter when we had all that ice and snow, and that's a metal roof.
That was around 50 years as well.
Yeah.
You gotta check the screws real often, because they start backing out.
Yeah.
I mean, so you gotta, there is maintenance
It's-
to a
it's
metal
both-
roof. I
yeah,
know
it's both
people don't think
ways.
so. Washers disintegrate, screws start backing out, there's a lot to do with it.
Greg, thank you.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it. Alrighty, this next one, this is a really, really cool thing here, and I'm gonna, Jack, oh, you're gonna go out there? Yeah. Okay. Jack's gonna go out there to present this. So this has been talked about for about a year. You know, we always talk about how we can make things better for our team and for our employees. And so what we've come up with, not a name yet, but would be assisted childcare. So for county employees. So Jack, you want to talk about it?
Sure. Hello, court. Thank you for having me, Judge. Thank you. Like, it's neat being on this side of the wall, I guess. First of all, I want to thank everybody as well for attending the event for Bobby Cottle. Everybody knows what an intricate part of this county government he is, and I appreciate everyone showing their appreciation to him. And not just Bobby, but all of our staff. Our people show up, and I just think that that is a testament to the type of operation that we want to run. Everybody knows that I am employee-oriented. They are a priority for me and care about each and every one of them. So in saying that, we're going to talk about something that I think will also show the employees how much we are trying to think of innovative ways to incentivize working for the county. And that idea, which the judge came to me with, was what if we could offer child care to our employees at a discounted rate? And how would that affect them? How would that incentivize them? Not only that, but a fantastic recruiting tool for new employees as well. So in the beginning of July, we advertised for bids for child care services. The idea is to partner with a licensed facility that will allow us to offer those services to not only county employees, but the county employees' children would be offered a discounted rate. That is to be negotiated still. But we have a suitable location for this next door. We've had state inspectors, fire marshals, everyone come and look at the area that we're talking about using. We discussed it with the tenants that are already in that building, and everybody is on the same page. This space is space that the county owns, but we don't use. So what better way to use it? The space will be secured to the specifications of the state inspector, and those funds have already been budgeted. So that's good news. Also, we've been in communication with the First Methodist Church next door. They are open to allowing us to use their outdoor playground. It's right across the alley. And also, they will allow us to use their indoor gym facility if the weather is not good that day. So the pickup and drop-off will be located in the alley. There's a secured door on that building on the back side. So pickup and drop-off will happen there. And then that will eliminate any type of traffic concerns that we might have, flooding West Main Street in the morning and in the afternoon. Pickup will be at 7 a.m., or drop-off will be at 7 a.m. Pickup will be between 4:30 and 5 p.m. And we can adjust those times however we feel it necessary when the time to develop an agreement occurs. This applicant, or this bidder, is licensed by the Division of Regulated Child Care in the Office of the Inspector General within the Cabinet for Health and Family Services. They've had no penalties. The provider is expected to participate in Kentucky's All-Star program with the goal of reaching a rating of 3 or above within 2 years. And what that means is they will still be working towards some different types of certifications that will allow them to do even more than what they're already certified to do. Basically, what they're certified to do right now is offer pre-K services to children between the ages of 3 and 5. Children that are being readied for kindergarten. So let's see. Oh, and more about the STARS program. Early Care Education Rating. It's an improvement system that serves all early care second education programs. So with that being said, I'm very excited that the Capital Academy, they were our only bidder, but I'm excited this facility, which I went to when I was a kid, it was named something else at the time, but the owner of this academy has been in this business for 28 years. She is an expert in that field, and so I'm just submitting this bid and asking for the court's approval.
Before I open up for questions, let me ask you, so you said there's another document that will come in front of us before.
Correct.
So this is just accepting this bid to negotiate with the company?
Correct, so that we can work on finalizing an agreement that would just get a little bit more into the details of basically what the services will be, and then which a lot of them are included in this packet, but also what the percentage of discount we can work out between. What we've done is we've measured the square footage of the area, And then we put an estimated, I think it's $12 per square foot on that. We've determined what a lease would be if we were to lease out that area. And then what we would do is discount the lease payment based on the amount of kids that we have attending. The area is capable of 24 children. And so we just worked off of numbers. If we had 10 county employees that had kids there and the other 14 didn't have discounts, what would the lease payment be? If we had 5 kids, what would the lease payment be? So that's basically how we've worked that. But once we get into the negotiating phase with the agreement, we'll bring it back to the court, and then you all can decide whether we go with it or not.
Squire Blackburn.
So you're telling me the financial impact to get this off the ground, get it going, is estimated to be around $5,000, and it's already budgeted because it's improvements to a building we already own.
Correct.
That's all I need to know.
Squire Sebastian.
Thank you, Judge. I guess I'm kind of confounded by the agenda item, not by the objective of what we're trying to do here, but in the execution of it. I'm confounded because I don't recall the issuance of an RFP for the purpose of coming before this body. The concept has been broadly and very loosely discussed some time ago. I think, Judge, you said a year ago or longer. And an RFP would have some touchstones for those who are bidding. But the court didn't have the opportunity to see the RFP, nor even know, as far as I'm aware, that it was out there. And also have input in what it would like to see in the RFP. I guess the challenge for me is without that opportunity, even though this could and should absolutely be a wonderful benefit for our working families, which I think we all want. Deputy Judge couldn't have said it any better. We all want that. It is not, but there is a process for this body. And, the purview of this body is to authorize these funds, as we've discussed here. As you see, it's not a great amount of money. But understanding the details of the RFP are important for all of that purpose. So I'm sharing that from my perspective about RFPs, because this body has said multiple times it wants to see them. And maybe I missed it, and you can ask the county attorney.
I'm gonna ask county attorney.
You can, but my point is, this body has said it, that it wants to see them, all of them.
Okay.
You can ask the county attorney, he can weigh in, but it's the decision of this body whether it wants to see them or not. And adding that layer has been important. So for me, that's an important thing. Just for me.
I don't wanna argue, but let's say.
This isn't
for
an
instance-
argument.
I know, but let's say
I'm sharing my
RFP for
perspective.
the fire department vote.
I'm sharing my
The
perspective.
roof. I mean, it's
Yep.
something we do here on a daily basis. Max, we talked about this. Can you kind of,
This isn't a pitting anything.
No,
I'm sharing my
not at all.
perspective,
Yeah,
which I
absolutely.
get the opportunity to do.
absolutely. I respect that.
I don't think there's anything that requires it to initially come before the court. I think as the ordinance is actually written, the ordinance states that the county judge executive puts out the RFPs and then the fiscal court approves them. I think that's by current ordinance that we have.
Well, it actually says that the county judge puts out the RFP, and then the body authorizes the awarding of the bid.
Correct.
So, and just to touch on that a little bit, we talk about ways to make these meetings more efficient, things like that. Items that are not actionable items should not be on the agenda. So we can discuss them in any time. We're here, every day. But as far as an RFP, that is an administrative function that this body doesn't necessarily have to authorize. It doesn't have to authorize it at all. So in order to run more efficient meetings and to try and get more things done, the timing of the newspaper for lack of better words, is almost impossible to sync up the newspaper with the court meetings. It's just a more efficient way for the staff and for us to try and get things out there and get some answers from some people.
Squire Harry.
So the way I'm understanding this, we're fishing. We threw it out there, we see what offers we got. We pick the best offer. It's brought back to the body. The body nails it down and decides it's a yes or a no. Yeah, I mean, I understand the time limits, I do understand the need to maybe be aware of an RFP. I mean, even email, you know, if it says, hey, we're wanting to do this, you know, what's your input, what's your thoughts, but I do understand, I don't like being here for 6 hours, so I'd much rather
Sure.
have the legwork done, and, you know, if it comes back and it's something we're all in agreement with, then, you know, we'll go with it.
Yeah, and just to touch on that too, because I was thinking about that and how would be a better way to communicate, you know, if an RFP is going out or if one's already out, is that maybe we could include it in the judge's report as a part of, you know,
Copy all of
the
this.
meeting,
You just send it by email to us.
or we can do that. We can send an email.
I mean, it's a courtesy thing, I think.
We all know
No
people,
one's trying to
contractors.
browbeat, but
You could, excuse me. There is no limit to any RFP that wanted to be sent out that we have no control over. You could send out an RFP to tear down this courthouse, how much it cost if you wanted to. So without some kind of review before it goes in the paper, I think is a little out of bounds. I'll admit that. We got this land before us. Nobody's objecting to it being a great thing for our employees, that's for sure. But, you know, I think we need to look at how we do that. Maybe we need to address it in administrative code.
Absolutely.
But, a process to go through. Because you can't just say you have open arms to put out any RFP you want to put out or anybody else. I mean, I guess you could. It'd be up to turn them down, but then you've got to bid. You got a bid land here to turn down. With no option, either yes or no. So a no means they don't get childcare. The yes means we're gonna spend up to $5,000 and experiment around a little bit, I guess. I'm not against any part of it. There's some of the things I had run by some other experts about the curriculum, but
a
anyway.
great recruiting tool for the county. I do agree with that. As far as, you know, the heads up or whatever, I think that's just a common courtesy. And
That's fine. I mean,
just,
I am not trying to do anything against this court. I mean, we communicate all the time. I mean, you know, it's just, there's 10,000 things that go on a daily basis here, and we're trying to be efficient and get things out. I agree, communication on this, we can do. We should have done. Just give a heads up. Squire Whisper.
Judge, well, a couple of things. Everything's external to, or my comments are external to the person who responded to the RFP, who I've worked with a great deal in this community and is fantastic, and I'm glad they made a bid if we go down this road. But I just want to take exception with a couple of comments. You know, non-actionable items, this whole body is elected to have input to field what we think is best for our community. And when we don't have an opportunity to input slight details about a preference of this court to do something in a different direction that maybe is the standard. I just brought up a different type of roof replacement, that if we get a 100-year warranty on a different type of roof, which I know exists, maybe this court wants to go that way rather than issuing an RFP. And in the idea of saving time, it would seem to be better to have input for this entire body, but it's been a consistent trend that the body generally is limited in input, except through committee meetings, until things lay on our desk and the community expects us to vote yes or no. This is a big step, and this has not been just quickly. You all have been emptying out that building for the last 2 years, moving staff out of it. You moved all of them over into this building. You cleaned out some other things.
Yes, because they're part of the team. They don't want to be in another building. That's what's making this team so good.
With this idea that this was going to be
this.
in place, but I really am taking exception again that so many of these public notices and things are going out without us ever seeing them, when we should be copied on every single thing that goes out to the general public. So I have knowledge when somebody calls me to say, yeah, here's what we're thinking about that, or I can send it to somebody that I think would be a great responder for the
RFP. We established that. We don't have a problem sending them out.
I think we need to do that, but generally, I'm wondering about this thing. $5,000, if it's $5,000, should probably be a bid level. Maybe it doesn't have to be. I don't know what the scope of that looks like. I don't know if that's changing the carpet throughout the whole building.
It's a couple of security doors. That's all it is.
That's not in the scope of this whatsoever, but we have a $5,000 tag item here to say yes to, but I have no idea what it was for.
It was budgeted, by the way. We did talk about it in the budget discussions.
How many discussions we get on budget as a whole body, you know, it's finance committee and the judge and nothing to the rest of us. But
Well,
24
we're here
children
every day,
possible.
Squire Wisman. We're here every day, from 7:30 until probably 6 PM. So if you would like to have discussions like that, I would be more than happy to sit down with you and have them. I do feel like it is, because we're being judged on not putting things out when things are discussed in this office at length every single day.
But never as a court, as a 7-member court for us to have input.
Court is in session once every 2 weeks.
Right.
We're here the rest of the time.
Right.
So,
The public expects us to have discussions as a body,
Absolutely.
make decisions. as a
Absolutely.
unit, Not behind closed doors where the public.
these doors are never closed.
Anyway,
We can have this discussion all day.
we will I'm sure in the upcoming year. This is, you described some hours, but this is for employees of this county. And it always strikes me that we don't consider the non-traditional hour employees, the fire department, the sheriff's office, in the scope of this. So I'm thinking, if this is truly for all employees of this county, we have to be at a difference from the regular operating schedule, which I think is one of the reasons to create a program like this, right? Is to meet the needs of those non-traditional employees or non-traditional hour employees. Fire department is one that comes to mind quite significantly, that you have that 24-hour.
Fire department, jail, yeah, and we can look at all of those things as we move forward, sure.
Part of the discussion about how those hours would operate and how they, you know, if sometimes they don't get to leave if they have a call and they're, you know, an employee is expected to pick them up, how are they going to be charged? There's something in here about, you know, $1 per minute late. But if it's the responsibility of the employee to be at a scene of something going on in the county, you know, how can we manage those things?
Sure,
all
and those are things
non-traditional
that we can
items.
definitely address as they come up, for sure.
And generally, I'm just wondering if you all took a survey of what the employee need was, or the take-up.
We did, we put out a survey, and this was with our HR director, sent out a survey probably, I want to say, a year and a half ago, to employees. What the results that she received back were, I'm not up to speed on, because she's not been here for a little while. But we can look at that. But we did put out a survey to all employees.
I'd really like to see that before approving something, if it's going to be a situation where we only have the need for a couple of kids. How do we make this worth the while? That's not a part of the scope at all.
Well, because we're still going to get paid. So there will be a lease amount, and then the number of county children will be deducted from that lease amount. And so if we don't have any, then we'll just receive the full lease amount. But if we have 10, we'll receive part of the lease amount.
So what you're telling me is outside of what I'm understanding here. So this facility will be operating for the general public in addition to
Correct.
Our county employees?
Correct.
Okay, that's not been mentioned in here.
I said all kids.
Okay.
And then I also said that we work the numbers off of 10 kids and 5 kids that were county employees, but it can hold up to 24 kids.
And is that top 2 floors over there? What
It's
is
the
that
third
kind of square
floor.
footage?
It's
It's the third floor.
yeah, I've got the square footage. I can give it to you. I don't have it memorized, but it is 2 just basically conference room size rooms and 1 office up there. And there's nothing up there on that side of the building. On the other side of the building, the clerk has his deed storage room over there, and then we have a DFI office over there. But if you're looking off of the elevator on the right side, we'll have everything down that right side of that building on the 3rd floor.
And will the bathrooms that are currently there accommodate? I mean, they're built for adults, not children.
They will. Yeah, we've had state inspectors there. We've had the state fire marshal there to all look at those things, the bathroom area and as well as the break area.
I got, maybe sitting here, I kept looking, what's the capacity? I think he's mentioned 39 or something here. What is the capacity of?
I think
How
that's
many
for the
kids?
childcare giver. She's able to keep 39 total, according to the paperwork.
If we open it up to a
Right.
3rd room, right now, we're just offering the 2 rooms to see how things go. And so that would be 24 kids. if we utilize another space that's up there, then she could get it up to 39, but we're not doing that right now.
Since this is open to all children, all people there, which is correct, is there a clause in here that says county employees have a priority?
I didn't see it.
No.
But there
Probably
I
will
didn't see it either.
We
So then
talked
the first come,
about
first
certain
served,
number
you
of
may not have
spaces.
any county employees in here.
Well, that's where we negotiate in the agreement. We can hold spaces if we have, if we would want to hold 10, 15 spaces for county employees only, or if we don't have that many county employees, then she could fill those spaces as well.
I think there has to be a priority for county employees' children.
Well, and that's what this is
I don't
all
know how
about,
you-
sure.
How you word that exactly, but they gotta be accepted first, or it might knock somebody out.
Absolutely.
But
And
it's
that's-
not in here.
Yeah, and that's what we can
That will be in
definitely
the next
address that.
document that'll come before the court, when it talks about money and things like that.
Have you talked about insurance yet? This would change our policy entirely, I would imagine, having a for-profit business
We-
inside of the current existing county offices.
We've talked to Keiko as well as the Capital Academy. She has her own insurance, and everything that we do is under her license. We have nothing more than the space. Everything that happens in that space is under her daycare license.
But it changes the use of the building from governmental services to a mixed use
Right.
for-profit. Max, could I ask about that? Is there any implications legally that we need to go through beyond an RFP like this that would change the use of a governmental services building to a for-profit?
What are you talking about as far as liability lines? We wouldn't work out the agreement that's reached as far as indemnification, things such as that in that agreement.
Carl Blackburn.
So as I look at the document and understand it, this is just setting up the relationship.
Correct.
This isn't opening the door and setting the finer details.
Correct.
That's to come later.
Something we talked about for a while. I appreciate you taking the initiative. I mean, I could see how things could go in different directions for different things, but I don't have anything on this that I disagree with. Thank you.
Squire Harris.
I think it's a move in the right direction. It's, you could help the county employees out, and there's a lot of county employees that, they're between insurance and childcare. It's a killer. So if there's something you can do to help them, incentivize getting them in here. And we talked about schedules. Usually, there's a mother, father somewhere. So, if there's someone at the fire department, they've already prearranged to make sure the kids are taken care of one way or the other. Just my view on it, but I think it's a move in the right direction.
I appreciate it. I mean, at the end of the day, and I think everybody's in agreement, I know we need to figure out some logistics, but we are trying to help current county employees. We're also using it as a recruitment tool, but this could potentially take a third off of county employees, daycare bills. And it's for a building that is just sitting there right now, in addition to the revenue that, the other space will generate. So it's a positive thing. Squire Sebastian.
Thank you, Judge. So I kicked this conversation off, talking about a process issue, not the execution of what this is about. I don't think there's one person that doesn't agree with the execution of what ultimately will come from that. And again, let's be clear, it is not an entire building, it is a floor. Some people keep saying building, it's not the whole building. Because there are government services in that building on multiple floors, and there will continue to be that. But I am hopeful that you have heard that there are some issues in processes. I think you've heard that around.
Yeah.
So we just want to.
We can make the court aware, absolutely.
It is not
Yeah.
it is not about that.
Yep.
Things are vested in this body to do, and we want to make sure that some of the questions that were asked, as you said, I'm down here pretty daggone often. Nobody stopped me in the hall and say, hey, we're getting ready to put an RFP out. I'm just about down here every day. So, I mean, I'm down here really often.
Yeah.
So, I want to have that two-way.
Sure. I agree.
I really
But
do.
sure. And
I wanna have that.
I agree. You know, we did
I
run
think
it
we
through
all
a
wanna
couple
have that.
committees, and so it's been talked about, but to this degree, probably not, so,
No,
yeah.
to this degree,
Yeah,
not.
it-
And so,
absolutely.
and it is
Yeah.
important.
Yeah,
I don't think there's one soul here who doesn't talk about how important this is.
yep,
It has been discussed as a recruiting tool.
Yep.
Those conversations are 2 years old.
Yep.
So getting to the execution, we all want to make sure that the execution's spot on.
we're all trying to do the best.
All,
we can.
everybody wants
Yeah.
to see the spot on.
Right.
That's just my,
No, it's
that's
all
ultimately
good.
it
Yeah,
in a
square-
box.
I have
Square
questions for whoever has the answer. So if we approve this, there has to be another, or is this done contract? Because there's some things that needs to be in the contract about guaranteeing
I agree.
spots.
Yeah, there's no
We need,
contract.
I'm not
Right, there-
necessarily.
Yeah, there's no agreement yet.
And I'm not against anything in there particularly. I think, I would like to have some input on some changes maybe on the scheduling.
Yep.
'cause
There'll be a whole nother
so-
contract. This is just negotiations. This gets us in the
Well,
room with this
if
company.
we authorize you to negotiate, which is fine, but we need to see what you're
That's
negotiating
fine.
before we approve.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
not
just,
trying
we'll
to
run
get
it
anything
through
by anybody.
committee and do all that fun stuff.
All right. I just want to clear that up
Sure.
before I cast my vote.
Absolutely.
Squire Wisman,
I would really like to see a survey sent to all county employees to dictate, rather than us dictating, as so commonly seems to happen, what we think needs to be, created to fit a need. What's the actual need, and let's tailor it towards that.
we can send another one out. I mean, we did.
If it's 2 years
we-
old or a year and a
Nah,
half
it wasn't
old,
that long,
yeah. I mean, we had a lot
Because
of
she wasn't
employee
with us
change
that
over.
long. But unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of response. You know, you send surveys out and you beg and you plead, and so, we went with what we could. But everything, to Squire Tanner's point, the number of positions that we're holding, we'd go ahead and fire a survey out tomorrow, because we don't know. Is it 5, is it 10, is it 15, is it none? So we're gonna have to keep a number that's reserved, just for county, but we're trying to figure out. This is all new. We're trying to do something good. Healthcare is a huge tool. I'm sorry, childcare. So, as we work
Both.
through this, yeah, both, yeah,
They're both
exactly.
huge.
Squire
I
Harris.
think if you put it out your morning meetings, your department heads mention it,
Yeah.
bring it to the employees' attention,
Yep, and that's how we had,
you'll get a real quick.
well, that's how we had to finally go, because we weren't getting anywhere.
Well, that's it. And
Yes, we had to bring
A lot
it.
of people pay no attention to any of the surveys
Yeah.
or, but if you put it out, fire department morning meetings or road
Yeah.
department morning meetings, I guarantee you there's kids floating around everywhere out there.
Yeah.
That'll be
Yep, no,
just
exactly.
my.
Yeah, no, it's all a good suggestion. And if you all want to input on what kind of questions want to be on the survey, I'm fine with that too. If you have specific questions that you can think of that you'd want to put on an employee survey, we're fine with that too, because we'll have to create another one. Okay,
Absolutely.
yep,
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Court.
thank you. All right, this next one is, unfortunately, we had a member of our new Sports Tourism Commission that had a conflict and was unable to serve because of her other job. Ms. Sabrina Gordon, as much as we were really looking forward to her serving with us, there were some realities that they said it would be better if she didn't serve. So I'm bringing in front of you Denise May is my recommendation to serve on the Sports Commission.
I'm assuming Denise is a female.
She is a female, yes, very active in the community. I'm looking for, oh, shoot, I was texting, I'm sorry. Sorry, that was my fault. She's across the hall in a meeting, and she said when we got close, so I lost sight of that. So we'll wait for Amy, who's across the hall. I can never tell if she's hiding behind those walls, She's pretty good about, hiding now, so I can't tell. Thank you for sitting up there, Belinda, I can see you. And unfortunately, Phil's out of town, so he's watching us right now, so, hello, Mr. Phil, hope you're having good travels with your wife. He said he'll catch up with us later. And to let you all know, the one thing that's gonna be on the next agenda, I got an email about opioid settlement things, and so we thought it'd be best to talk to you all about it before I sign anything else. It's basically just another opioid case that's going on, so that'll be on our next agenda. So I don't know what you think of that, but
While you mention that,
Yeah.
Judge,
Yeah, go ahead,
just
Squire.
a moment of personal privilege.
Yeah.
I attended with our grants administrator a opioid settlement, and I'm going to go ahead and send the court information that was passed along at that meeting.
Yeah.
Other people didn't get to go. It was important information. Everybody should have access to it.
Yeah.
Whether we paid just for me, it's good to share with everybody.
Oh,
So I'm
absolutely.
going to make a point to do
I
that.
pulled the Sherry Sebastian one on vacation, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't make it to a lot of things last week, but I had to get away.
Yeah, I understand.
All righty. Amy, come on up to the podium. We've been waiting for you. Sorry, we lost sight of time. So this is about, go ahead.
So the existing bond that we have, the 10 million bond that was issued, has been earning interest every month since we took that out in July of '23. And there is a limit as to how much interest that we can earn on a tax-exempt bond. So Compass Municipal Advisors has advised us to have a calculation to show if we owe any of that interest back. And so Amtech is the company that will do that arbitrage rebate computation for us. And so I'm presenting that to you today to figure out if we have to pay back any of that interest.
Well, you never know. We're hoping not. We're hoping not, but that's part of the game. Any questions for Amy on this agenda item? I know we've talked about it, so, all right, thank you, Amy. Go ahead to your next one.
The next is a budget transfer requested by the jail from technical support to cover additional expenses to be incurred in communication equipment.
Any questions for Amy on this transfer? Seeing none. Next.
The treasurer's report is for the 1 month ending July 31st, 25. Receipts, 3 million, expenditures, 5.3. Adding in the fund balance carrying over from the previous year of 29.6 leaves us with a balance of 27.2. And just a reminder on this first month, don't be alarmed. Expenses are heavy because we pay a lot of upfront, such as insurance, some of our softwares. Yeah, so, and then the revenues for the month of July are low, and that's normal. And then I've
Everybody's wanting
also,
their new shiny toys first month of the
well, that too. And I've,
year. I'm looking at you, look, he's looking down. Go ahead, Amy, I'm sorry.
and then the revenue and expense report as of August the 8th is included.
Any questions for Amy on this agenda item? Amy, thank you very much. Alrighty, next is payment of claims. Anybody have any questions for our clerk on payment of claims? Alrighty, seeing none, next agenda item, authorization to go into closed session per KRS 61.8101CF, discussions of proposed or pending litigation against or on behalf of public agency, discussions or hearings which might lead to the appointment, discipline, or dismissal of an individual employee.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. We're in closed session. favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. We are in open session court. Thank you. Next agenda item, authorization to hire one light equipment operator / driver. Any questions on that agenda item? Seeing none, other business. Does anybody have any other business tonight?
Just
Fire Whistler, microphone please.
Primarily, I'm still just having immense frustrations with our current trash hauler, and I want to start having some conversations about the services that they're providing. The contract, my understanding, is to renew right now for another automatic year, and then next year is it. But, I'm having whole roads missed. I'm having problems with cart replacement. I'm having problems with customer service, getting back to people and telling them wrong dates, and then things not happening that they're promised, and I'm just beyond frustrated. I've now taken to driving 25 to 50 miles every Monday along my Monday route to make sure things are done, and, putting out however I can to make sure that citizens are having their services done. We're not getting any relief for things that are missed, or of course, there have been road issues and, bridge replacements and some of those things that have been impacting it, but this has been pretty much since this contract was bought out by Republic Services. I'd like to, thought Ally was going to be with us tonight, and I told her I was going to bring this up, but I'd like to send that contract to this whole court to start reviewing. It'd be my preference, quite frankly, to go ahead and put it out to bid and see what we can get. Doesn't mean that we have to break the existing contract, I don't think. I'd like for maybe our county attorney to review that, to see if we could go out and see what's available, what the cost might look like. It doesn't mean we have to change services if ultimately they are the best option. I know we have limited options in the community as is, but for myself and my constituents, we are beyond frustrated with the level of service that we've been getting as a county, and I'm spending, a day a week on this issue alone, which is just something I shouldn't have to do for a $2 million contract. So I know they were helpful during the flood, and I'm appreciative of that, but we're just not getting the level of service that I think we got before, and I have constituents that are beyond frustrated, and I just needed to express that and state it here in this meeting, because we're just not finding the resolutions that we need to, and I understand the amount of time that our solid waste coordinator is having to put towards following things through, from like an initial bin replacement for a broken one with 3, 4, 5 times following up to make sure that actually gets delivered is not a good use of her time and energy. And if that's going to be the way that this contract continues out, then I think it would behoove us to look at options sooner than later. So
I agree. I wish she was here tonight, and I think you unfortunately missed the last task force meeting, but it was brought up a lot as far as what we can do, and she's been in communication with them. So yeah, she really needs to weigh in. Squire Sebastian.
I have another item under business.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought
it wasn't on this topic, so I'm just waiting until it's
over. Is anybody else, having issues, Squire Blackburn?
that's kind of what I just wanted to ask too.
I get when you have a contract with people to provide services and you have staff concerns, you have broken equipment, things like that. I think my biggest problem that I'm seeing is communication. If I say, hey, we missed it today, we missed your road, something happened, they don't have to explain it. But we missed your road, we can be there tomorrow, or we will be there in 2 days. And then not show up, and then you call them back, and then they say, well, we'll be there within the hour. Another 2 days goes by, and you've got another week's worth of trash. So I think we definitely need to talk to them and address some communication issues. And if they're having trouble, we just got to talk it, get through it, because it's not working.
Okay.
So I'm sure they'll be at the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be out of line to pull Todd aside and say, hey?
No.
Todd left me a message earlier, and he had some personal things. I'm not sure he'll be there. But
Okay, if not him, I'm talking about a representative. Would it be out of line to say, look, man, we gotta.
Absolutely not. That's the point of the conference.
I mean,
Network and
Because what I'm
discuss
saying
issues.
is, I have no problem.
I'm in the same boat.
Okay.
And Squire Tanner and I've done that on other matters, so absolutely. I'd like to bring it up because I have people calling me. Sherry went out and found a trash can and drove it to their
As long as there's not
house.
a quorum when you're talking to the individual.
What's that?
As long as there's not a quorum.
Just
when you're
for you.
talking to the
Yes.
individual.
I'm never around anybody around.
but Judge, if I can, I've had these talks. I've called the management. I've communicated through Ally, I've talked to you some. I mean, I've went just about every avenue saying, this is my expectations, and I've promised to send a follow-up email of some things that I'm wanting to see. One right now is, some people were able to buy additional carts when this contract originally started with Central Kentucky Hauling, and now Republic has stopped collecting those second ones without telling us that they're stopping to collect the second one, and without giving the customer the option or even a notification that they need to pay for that optional second cart. So they're just not collecting those for 4 and 5 and 6 weeks. I've had people that have been calling that have told me 6 to 9 months trying to get a replacement cart, and they've duct taped them together. One guy spray painted his cart to match so that they would pick it up. I mean, it is just to the level it's got to have something. Well, what I'm asking is I'd like to have our county attorney review the contract for what our areas of movement are, and then maybe Ally and he both could give us an update at maybe our next meeting about what our options are to start looking at. And I know the task force has looked at that, and the committee meeting is going to look at it again at the next meeting, but I just had to express it here because I have to express the frustrations of the community. It's the number one thing I'm hearing right now, so.
Squire Sebastian.
Thank you, Judge.
Could we on that, if you're asking me to do that, could we go to the meeting on the 10th and not the one on the 27th if you want me to do that? Because I'm supposed to be out most of next week at a conference.
Yeah.
September 10th, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Go ahead, Squire.
Thank you, Judge. I just want to, again, bring to the court's attention, everyone has the administrative code for review. Please, in your available schedule, take an opportunity to read through that because a lot of work was put in by a number of people, and we want to have that back before this body so we can discuss it and, as we've all said, continue to advance things that are important for our staff.
And on that note, I want to thank all the department heads that have really inputted on, certain things that we've had questions on, and Squire Tanner, Squire Sebastian, I know Deputy Kennedy's been involved. There's been a lot of moving parts, so thank you. All right, any other business?
Just wanted to ask a question too. We've had some meetings, all of this body individually with our lobbyists 7, 8 months ago. We had some discussion at the time of hiring them that we were going to come back and have a bit of a discussion about a unified vision to go move forward with, and not seeing that happening. I'm getting their updates of, happenings and events that we should look at through email all the time, but I want to make sure we get that scheduled before legislative session time gets here. And I'm not sure what they're lobbying for, communicating on our behalf right now, but.
Because it's kind of,
We
no.
can't do that.
Okay. We'll figure that out.
I'd love to schedule an individual meeting. I've been asking since the first of this term about goals and priorities for the whole court to set forward, but I think we've got to, we learned from past lobbying efforts we weren't successful because we didn't have a unified front and everybody making phone calls and using all of our resources. So if we're going to do it, time's ticking.
Yeah, and that was a little bit more than just us, it was a lack of people pushing things for us that are up there, so. Huh?
The 26th session
I
is
say that nice way. Go ahead, I'm sorry, Squire.
this coming session is a budget year, isn't it? So I agree, we need to be,
That's a long session.
we need to have a meeting with our lobbyist, and
That's fine.
maybe we need to have a meeting with ourselves first, something to kind of just kick some things around that we need to help with through the state other than sewer money.
And I know when we first hired them, they met with everybody individually, correct?
We actually met with them at me and Squire Sebastian and Squire Taylor met with them at the
Legislative day.
Gotcha, okay.
And discussed, and we're all on the same page with priorities. So
Okay.
they heard from 3 people that their
Yeah.
priorities were together.
And then they did meet with Squire.
I thought they met with everybody. We've
Yeah.
not come back to have a group meeting with
Okay,
them
that's
to
fine.
find what, I thought it was sort of collecting individual's priorities to come back together
Well, we
and
did.
give us the
They
listing.
put it out, but we were all 3 there together, so we compiled our number 5 top and submitted it
Okay,
at that point.
we'll work on that. Okay, seeing no other business, we're gonna go into voting session. That's okay with everybody. Today is August 12th, 2025. This is our voting session. Clerk, please call roll.
Squire Sebastian.
Here.
Squire Blackburn.
Present.
Squire Dacus. Squire Herod.
Here.
Squire Tanner.
Here.
Squire Wisman.
Present.
Judge Miller.
Present, thank you, clerk. Authorization for approval of minutes from the regular meeting of July 30th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Nay.
You get that, clerk?
Yes.
Thank you. It passes. Authorization to accept a resolution of Franklin County Board of Health establishing public health tax rate in the year 2025 for the Franklin County Public Health Taxing District.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve an interlocal cooperation agreement with the City of Frankfort and Franklin County Fiscal Court regarding tourism.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve a resolution authorizing the filing of an application with the Kentucky Energy Environmental Cabinet Division of Waste Management for 2026 litter abatement grant funding and designating the county judge executive to execute all documents pertaining to this grant.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve a resolution adopting and approving execution of memorandum of agreement between the Franklin County Fiscal Court and the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural and Municipal Aid in the amount of $343,295 for the Farmers Lane Bridge project.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. And I want to thank Belinda for working hard on that, so congratulations. Authorization to approve a resolution authorizing the filing of an application to Kentucky American Water Firefighting Support Grant Program for the Franklin County Fire Department and designating the judge executive to execute all documents pertaining to this grant.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to execute an easement with Farmdale Sanitation District on Evergreen Road, parcel number 051-20-03-018.02.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to award a bid to Marine Works for best bid for the fire department boat.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to award to Ideal Roofing best bidder for the Franklin County Sheriff's Department roof.
Understand that.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to award a bid to the Capital Academy, sole bidder for the Franklin County Child Care Services.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes.
Judge,
Yes.
may I take a point of personal privilege here?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna, certainly, we all, as everybody said, resoundingly, everybody has approved moving forward with this. And I'm just gonna again register when RFPs are internally being discussed, those are matters that need to come to this body, so we need to know about those. So
Yep.
I'm just again bringing that
Yep.
up, just so, because everybody wants to see this move forward, and
Yep.
it is a nominal amount.
Yep.
There'll be other things that come up that are not
All
this
good.
way.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Authorization to approve board appointment of Denise May to the Franklin County Sports Tourism Commission with a term ending June 30th, 2028.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve agreement with Amtech regarding arbitrage rebate compensation agreement for Franklin County.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve budget transfers for FY 2025-2026.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to receive treasurer's reports.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Payment of claim. Is there a motion to deny any claim? No motion was made. Let the record reflect claims are to be paid. Authorization to hire Brad Mefford as a light equipment operator / driver.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed nay. We are adjourned. Thank you, Court. Great meeting.